How many of us are wondering how on earth we have got in this situation in this country, in this world, with the governments and their abuse of power? Well, it starts very, very small. I actually wrote about this in my dissertation, actually during COVID, um, for uni, and I likened domestic abuse to the abuse of power from governments. And I broke it all down, right from how they got us to put the masks on, how they got us all to stay at home, and everything like that. And it basically just follows the same playbook as what um, people experience in domestic abuse. It's little tiny things that they tell you it's going to be for the best. It's going to be, or, or you're doing it for the greater good, and you're doing it because you love them and things like that. And it just erodes away that you'll want to say, actually, no, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And eventually, as we are now seeing, this becomes a massive, massive overreach, and it doesn't stop. They never try to get your claws out of you either. They always try to keep their claws in you in some way, shape, or form. And this happens. So it's so scarily easily as well. A lot of people say, "Oh God, why didn't she just leave? I would never let myself be like used like that." And well, actually, if we break it down, most of us do all the time, every single day, and that is what is the really scary thing. It doesn't, domestic abuse doesn't start with a punch in the face. It really doesn't. Well, not always. It's very subtle. It's very, very small little increments that then make you just lose yourself. And that is what has happened. That's how we've got to this space now. We've been promised little things and been told that this is for the right reasons. We're going to go down this path, and all that kind of thing. And it just gradually it just chips away at our own understanding of ourselves. That is basically what has happened. They want us to shrink ourselves, to be small, to be little people, to not have a voice, to not put our heads above the parapet, to not actually be who we're here to be. And we are here to be beings experiencing something amazing. People say about being reincarnated. Well, why are we reincarnated? And somebody, I can't remember who told me, but they said we come on this plane to experience what chocolate tastes like. Do you understand that? How would you explain what chocolate tastes like unless you taste chocolate? It's that kind of thing. We have to experience all this. But I do believe that we are now at the point where it's time that we all started to become aware that it isn't just little things now, it's big things, and it's been happening for a long time, and they don't want to stop. They don't want to stop because they are losing power. And this is what happens in a lot of abusive relationships. When the abuser feels that they're losing power, they double down, they get nasty, they trip up, their mask slips, and it becomes so much more aware for the person that's being abused. And I think this is what is happening for a lot of people now. People are now thinking, hold on a minute, what the hell is going on? What have we been through? And it's a great thing. It really is a great thing, but it's also a really terrifying thing, because you having to let go of part of yourself that has believed in something for so long, or wanted to believe in, a person that you thought had loved you. And like I remember having a conversation with my mother years ago about 9/11. I was like, it all just seems a bit weird. I think it was like an inside job. This was like years ago, before lots of things started coming out. And my mum said, they wouldn't do that to us. They wouldn't do this to their own people. And something inside of me clicked then. And I'm thinking, you're my mum and you are an asshole to me. So why would the hell would the government care about us? They don't, in my humble opinion. Um, it's all coercion to keep us in control and to keep us dumbed down. That's basically the crux of it. We keep paying them money, they control us, and that's it. So how do we get out of it? Not easily, that's for sure. That's why a lot of women stay in abusive relationships, because there's a lot of things to factor in: finances, somewhere to go, people that you can trust. It doesn't just happen overnight. And so this is what now a lot of people are realizing. Where do we go? What do we do? And I feel it's something that we have to do together, singly at first. We have to all on this journey realize where we are on this, how we've been affected, and what we can actually do to get out of it. And it's not easy. I'm a single parent. It's not easy. I know this. The best things is to ground yourself, know who you are first. That is probably the best thing that you can do to start with. And then you start finding other people that are like you, are like coming out of the shadows kind of thing. So then you've got kind of a bit of an armor around you. So you've got people around you that understand where you're coming from. And because some days you can be so exasperated by all this that it's hard to talk, it's hard to function, and you just sometimes you sink right back down. And that's exactly the same in domestic abuse. You stumble out coming out the door and things like that. And part of me was really excited about this because I've come out of abusive relationships. And when you're there, when you're at that point where you know you ain't going back, it's the best feeling in the world. It really is. And I feel like a lot of people collectively now are coming to this point with everything that's going on. I've got tingles saying all this. I love it. I just really do feel that we are coming out of it, and it's going to get better, and things are really going to work out. There's a lot of things that we can do just for ourselves. That's all we can concentrate on right now, is for ourselves. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and you will find that gradually you will empower yourself to be able to fight this, because you'll be bringing yourself back to yourself. You will be knowing who you are. The more you do this, the more empowering it is, I promise you. So on that note, I'm going to leave you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.